Modern Afghanistan, A History of Struggle and Survival, by Mahin Mirza, www.trcb.me/mine. The horrific events of 9/11 turned the world topsy-turvy, and Al-Qaeda factor evolved as an icon of international terrorism. The U.S., determined to counter terrorism, gained a pretext to attack Afghanistan, which according to it, had become a base of Al-Qaeda's terrorist activities, assisted by the Taliban government of Afghanistan. A change was desired to replace the old order of the country, and a prolonged series of bloodshed and destruction resulted in dethronement of Talibans. Now the main issue arose, regarding the challenges faced by Afghanistan in future. Amin Saikal has discussed the history of Afghanistan with a recent past, present and near future perspective. He is the director of the Center for Arab and Islamic Studies and the professor of political science at the Australian National University. Many books to his credit relating Central Asia, reveals him to be an authority over the regional politics. Few edited books are Russia in Search of Its Future, Regime Change in Afghanistan, Foreign Intervention in the Politics of Legitimacy, the Soviet Withdrawal from Afghanistan, etc. According to Saikal, the first initiative towards this development was taken under the Bonn Agreement, in whose formulation US and UN, as well as Germany, also played a vital role. It was required to form an interim government to run the administration in Afghanistan. The choice fell upon Hamid Karzai, a moderate Pashtun, who had fought against the Soviet forces along with the Mujahideens in the past. He served as the deputy foreign minister in the Burhanuddin Rabnis government for a short period and enjoyed nomination in United Nations by the Talibans also. However, this association could not last long and resulted in his denouncement of Taliban rule. He left the country for good to US, where his family had been running business for years. Soon after the catastrophe of 9/11 occurred, he returned back with US full political and military support to achieve the democratic order as soon as possible. As per provision in the Bonn Agreement, the foundation of an International Security Assistance Force (ISAF), deployed in Kabul to protect the Karzai government, was an example of US backup in war against terrorism. Besides, the US also succeed to establish bases in Afghanistan, so as to squeeze out the remaining Talibans who are said to be hiding in the mountainous regions of the country. In this context, Saikal laments the challenges faced by the embryonic Afghan government to pave the path towards a peaceful and stable democratic state. Your article could be in this broadcast. Visit trcb.com to find out how. The primary task of the interim government was to convene an emergency loya jirga to appoint a transitional administration with 18 months tenure to ensure smooth working for general elections to establish a popularly mandated regular government. The emergency loya jirga was held in Kabul from June 11 to 19, 2002. Despite some exceptional drawbacks in the structural body, it can be considered as a successful attempt. Consisting over 1,600 delegates, majority within Afghanistan and the others in exile like the supporters of Zahir Shah. Moreover, special attention was also paid to the consent of the warlords and power brokers. Successive sessions of heated debates resulted in Karzai's appointment as the head of the state with an overwhelming majority support of 1,295 delegates. The other two candidates, Masoud Jalali and Mahfouz Nadai, accepted the results cordially. The United Nations and the international community aided the Afghans for the reconstruction of their country that had been converted into a state of ruin and rubble, after several years of bloodshed and war. This continuous warfare forced about 3 to 4 million Afghans to take refuge in the neighboring countries like Pakistan and Iran. The future of Karzai government remains uncertain, and it will be too early to predict how well the new government will respond to the challenges of the present. Afghan history is a story of terrible and turbulent events. Very rare evidence asserts about a government being capable to stand on its own, unless and until backed up by any foreign force. According to the author, the challenges confronted by Karzai are monumental. Consolidation of the central government, reconstruction of the country, rehabilitation and safety of the people, the threatening remnants of Taliban, and the most important of all, the promotion of national cohesion in the disintegrated society. Karzai government commands a weak and limited authority outside Kabul, the Afghan capital. the main power is concentrated among the various warlords and power wielders. These include religious leaders and military commanders who possess a strong network throughout the country and are the main nucleus of power. Their influence over different sectors of the society is to such extent that they can crash or consolidate any government. Several years of warfare in the past may have changed the boundaries of command relating to these warlords, but their mechanism still lies in the same place, that is to command and control. Besides endeavoring hard to attain strong footing in the region, Karzai government also faces the challenge, emerged from influential, ethnic, factional and family politics. Proper legal framework is needed to ensure the government system and polity. Institutions are required to impart the relevant process to ensure public participation, transparency, accountability, and administration, bureaucratic efficiency, social equality, observation of basic human rights and emphasis on merit rather than the ethnic affiliation as the basis of appointment. The Herculean task regarding the reconstruction of Afghanistan required financial assistance. To this end, the international community in January 2002 pledged $4.5 billion aid over the next 5 years and mostly fulfilled its commitment of $1.8 million for 2002. However, the slow progress in national reconstruction areas makes the results of efforts doubtful. In this respect, Amin Saikal quotes the example of Kabul-Kandahar Heart Highway, which had been pending since its inauguration in 2002. Human security is also not to be considered as a matter of trivial importance. Since the ousting of Taliban, Kabul has emerged as the safest region of Afghanistan in terms of human security, however the problem still persists in the other regions. The personal army under the different warlords aggravates the peace situation more. These influential warlords need to be subordinated by the central government if complete peace is desired in the country. Establishment of professional army can ease the task. In this respect, US and its allies have agreed to assist, but as the problems of ethnicity and factionalism persists, it is feared that it could force the society into polarization along ethnic, regional and religious lines. In addition to that, the remnants of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, also supported by Gulbuddin Hikmatyar and his Hizb-e-Islami, declaring holy war, continues to be threatening and are reported to be operating from Pak-Afghan border that is still uncontrolled by any of the two. Moreover, the support by some religious parties and ISI cannot be ignored. These parties have gained a mandate in local legislative assembly in the NWFP in Balochistan, grabbing along with 1/3 of the seats in National Assembly in October 2002 general elections in Pakistan. Pak-Afghan border receives timely influx of people from these groups to serve the purpose of fighting idolaters. Despite of Pakistan's verbal support to Afghanistan's present regime, the problem continues to remain unsolved, unless the settlement of Pak-Afghan border issue. The Durand Line of 1893 remained valid for 100 years, notwithstanding Afghans' rejection to it. The agreement has been lapsed by a decade. Now it has become necessary for Karzai that he starts negotiation. Last but not the least, the biggest challenge confronted by the Afghans is their jingoistic gun culture, which needed to be shunned. They need to steer their way out towards development so as to perform their role as an independent and viable state for the new millennium. Afghanistan's problems are by no means over. It's still a long way to go. This book is a thought-provoking, informative and eminently readable account on Afghan affairs. It is indeed an appreciable effort by the author. Maheen Mirza likes to share experiences and is very passionate about writing. As a TRCB author, I share my work with others. For information about Maheen Mirza, please visit heavensiteblogspot.com.